Okay, guys, I want to be honest with you guys about this chapter. It's chapter 3, section 1, and I don't know, I know you guys probably don't know this, but I actually took this last semester. So some of the things you guys are learning recently, I haven't actually had a refresher on for a bit. So sometimes I just don't remember stuff as well as I usually do, or probably ought to. So for this chapter, it is about functions. And I'm going to tell you some of the ways that I remember doing this stuff, but I'm not for sure if it is the right way or if it is even how do I explain this? Or if it's a way that will get you the answer, but probably not the way that it was explained in class. For those of you who don't know, my name is Sarah. I am a math tutor here in the Nesnatai lab. That was a decision. I'm not sure. Now that I'm looking at today's chapter, I'm not sure what kind of decision yet. So some of the key things about this chapter that I wanted to point out to you guys is if you will open your book to page 211, chapter 3, section 1, it's about functions. I just want to point something out to you about, so the main thing with functions is that they can only, if you're having a function, then you can only use your x one time. Your y can be used as many times as possible. So on 19, it shows you with Pearson and birthday. I'm pretty sure it says person, my bad. It says person and their birthdays. Your persons are supposed to be your domains, and your birthdays are your range, if I remember correctly. So your domains, each of them are only repeated one time. So if I was making it, I would have 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And then your birthdays, you'll notice that there are only 3 birthdays, but there's only 3 things in your range box, but 4 in your domain box. So let's say I have 4, 6, and 8. So for a function to be a function, you can only use the x value or your domain one time. But your range, however, can be used multiple times. So if I wanted to say that when you put 1 into an equation, it gives you 4. If you put 2 into an equation, it gives you 4. 3 will give you 6, and 4 will give you 8. That's perfectly fine because that would still qualify as a function. However, if I was to take 23, 4, 2, and 9, and then I was to take 1, 3, 6, 2, and 8 over here, I cannot say that 23 will give me 1 and give me 3. I cannot say that 4 will give me 6 and 2 will give me 2, but then 2 will also give me 8. You see what I'm saying? It's okay if it's this way, but not if it's this way. So kind of greater than, less than value signs when you really think about it. See, arrow, arrow, and then the other one, the arrow was pointing the other way. The arrow points this way, it's a no-no. It's not a function. If it points that way, it's okay, because what really matters is that the domain can only be used one time for each range. The range can be used as many times as you'd like, depending on how many domains you have. So an example of this in the book, and I would show it on the board, but that's a lot of writing. So as an example in the book would be 19. Elvis and Colin both have their birthday as January 8th. But since the domain is only being used once, which the domain is the numbers on the left, or whatever's on the left is on the left, then it is okay. It is a function. However, 21 it says the hours worked to the salary. It says 20 hours for $200, 20 hours for $300, 30 hours for $350, and 40 hours for $420. You'll notice that the domain 20 hours is used twice, and therefore 21 cannot be a function. And one of the things that would help you remember that in this scenario would be, why would it be fair for someone who is working 20 hours to be paid $200, but someone else working the same amount of hours be paid $300? So that in general wouldn't make sense unless, hire people and stuff, but we don't look at it that way. So if you would take 24 as an example, your domains in 24, domains are also referred to as the x value. So your domain is your x. Your range my bad. Is your y. So in points like 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, these will be your x's, or these will be your domains or your x's, and the other ones without red dots over them will be your ranges or your y's. So in 24, it says -2, -1, 3, and 4. If none of those numbers are repeated, you know that is a function. If it is repeated, you know that is not a function. Another way I did it whenever I was doing the equations is if it was like y squared, then you know that it would have more than one solution for x, because like I have a lot of erasing to do apparently today. We just because like x equals y squared. To solve for y, you take the square root of both sides. When you take the square root, you put a plus and minus in front of it. And this is because if this was 9, then the square root of 9 is 3. Well, -3 times -3 gives you positive 9, and positive 3 positive 3. So you have to put plus minus out, gives you y. And this means you would have 2 separate domains for your y, which would be wrong. So that would not work out. So anyhow, anytime you have two x value, or you have one x value for two different y answers, it will not work. That's pretty much all the information I have on this one, which I am so sorry about because I really should have gotten more. Ooh, actually, I didn't even look at this. If you look down at 67, I actually know how to do this. Like, I remember how to do this. I didn't even look down there at this. I did not even see this. That's my bad. It says, we'll do 67. It says 3x plus 4 is function f, and then function g is 2x minus 3. And then you'll notice that you have to solve for parts A through D, something to that extent. So what it shows you is that you take the f. Anyhow, so like on A, it says this. So all you do is you take f and you plug it in. This just says add both of the functions together. So if you add both of the functions together, you'll just add your like terms. And that will be your answer. Sorry about the awful explanations in this videos, guys. I know, like, as I already explained, this chapter is a little bit fuzzy for me. Like, I don't remember actually doing it. But I know I did it because, like, a couple of things look kind of familiar. Other than that, I don't know what else to do other than that. If you guys have any questions about this video, I'm sure there are quite a few questions going through somebody's head out there somewhere on this video, or another short song going through mine. Just feel free to email and ask anybody, well, whoever answers your email. Or if you want, you can come in and see Miss Reagan or in the Nasmatai building. Their room is right next to the lab if you are a face-to-face person. But if you're a face-to-face person, I also encourage you to come and test out tutoring in person instead of online. I think that's all I have for you guys today. I'm so sorry about this whole scrambled mess of a video. But next one will be way better. Kinky swear. Which to me is a big deal. But anyhow, bye. I will talk to you guys next week.